Hello guys, Crispy here and welcome back to another video. In this one, my friends, I'm gonna be testing the RX 5700 XT in PUBG Season 8. This one is the PowerColor version of the card. It has two fans on it. It doesn't have a model name for some reason, so it's just PowerColor RX 5700 XT. But anyways, that shouldn't really matter too much. I'm running the Adrenaline 2020 20.4.2 drivers because the 20.7.2, which are the latest ones, just make my screen flicker for some reason, so I have to use those. And of course 8 GB of VRAM, and we're running it with a Ryzen 7 3700X and 16 gigs of RAM, dual channel CL14 3200 MHz by the way. And let's just get into it, friends. You should be able to get the same FPS with something like a Ryzen 3 3300X because that has the same single core performance, and this game only utilizes 4 cores, so that one will be absolutely enough for PUBG. And we're going to be playing here at 1080p 1440p as well as 2160p or 4K resolution. Right now I'm playing at the very low settings. I'm actually going to use like high textures. Yes, that should be a good idea, you know, to make the game look a little bit prettier. So very low settings with high textures, and I'm also going to be testing it on the high settings because yeah, if you are looking for visual fidelity, you should play on high settings because it looks pretty much the same as ultra. And of course, if you are looking for a competitive experience, you want to play on very low settings with high textures, just so the game doesn't look too bad. Let's get into it, friends. And where should we drop right now? I'm not gonna go to boot camp, okay, because that's a hot spot and we are actually CPU bound in that area, so we're not gonna really see our GPU's performance there. Getting out of the plane, of course, the FPS are gonna go down by a lot, as you can see, 80 something FPS at very low settings, 1080p, but don't you worry because once we're down there, it's gonna go up by a lot, okay? So no problems with that. Alright, here we go, friends. I don't think anybody's dropping here in these houses with us, so we're absolutely fine. And of course, at 1080p very low settings, we're gonna obviously be CPU bound throughout this like little benchmark run that we're doing right now because yeah, this is just too low of a settings and resolution for the 5700 XT, so the 3700X becomes a bottleneck. But that's okay, you know, bottlenecks are not bad. Like, I'm not sure why people tend to focus so much in CPU bottlenecks and like it's the worst thing in the world. It's completely normal, guys. If you're playing a game on very low settings, you know, it's just gonna get a CPU bottleneck if your GPU is actually somewhat decent. So I see no problems with that. As you could see, our 1% lows just got really bad because of the stutter that occurred here. Probably it was still loading something or something like that, but it's something that you will experience every time you get into a map, okay? So it will smooth out as we play the game and as we keep playing, you know, and running around and rendering everything. But yeah, these stutters are really annoying, and they are in pretty much every single game that uses the Unreal 4 engine, at least that I tested so far, like Fortnite and Ark Survival Evolved. The good thing is that if you play like on high settings and if you get GPU bound, they will disappear. So it's something to do with the CPU bottleneck in PUBG, and I just said that CPU bottlenecks are just fine and completely normal, and now I'm saying that they're actually causing stutters. But yeah, it's just because of the goddamn engine, you know? There's nothing really we can do about it. We can see that the game runs like extremely well, obviously, if it wasn't for those stuttering issues. But yeah, what can you do? Let's stop it right there. 1% lows at 96 because of that, and 174 FPS on average, which is of course amazing. And the GPU could still do better than that, of course, because it only ran at around like 60 to 80% usage most of the time. And let's do high settings, which should put much more of a strain on our GPU, and as you can see, it's above 90% usage, so that's very nice. And the game looks really impressive right now. Well, it doesn't really look impressive. It looks impressive for PUBG because it just looks like crap on the very low settings. And now I am expecting the 1% lows to be a little bit better than what we got at the very low settings, because again, as we get more and more GPU bound, the game tends to stutter less and less. You know what? what, guys, maybe you will want to lock your FPS to like 144 if you have a 144Hz monitor, or 165 or something like that, because I think that actually smooths out the frame times a little bit, you know, so you don't really get as many stutters if you lock your FPS compared to unlocked frame rates, of course. So yeah, you might want to look into that and play around with that, but of course if I'm making a benchmark video, I'm not gonna cap the FPS. Obviously you want to see what these specs are capable of, so I'm gonna show you. But anyways, friends, yeah, it's definitely running a lot smoother right now. I can still feel a couple of stutters here and there, but those aren't really as big as they were on very low settings. And of course it's just amazing. It's an amazing experience. I'm running a 165Hz monitor and it's just buttery smooth even on high settings. And again, you could even play on ultra settings, but I feel like there's not really much point on doing so unless you really want to brag that you play on ultra or take screenshots or whatever. On ultra settings you're gonna get like 20 less FPS, by the way, so for those of you with 144Hz monitors, it's just not gonna get 144 FPS like 90% of the time as we are getting on high settings. So yeah, just avoid ultra settings, okay? I always say this in every single game that I play, especially if it's a competitive title. Just don't even bother, guys. Of course the 5700 XT can do it above 100 FPS all of the time pretty much on ultra, but as I said, I just don't feel like you should do it. I think that is enough for 1080p resolution. Most of you with 5700 XTs might actually play at 1440p, at least it's my resolution of choice, and this is actually my main GPU, so yeah, I'm just gonna see how it runs at very low settings at 1440p. And here we go, my friends, 2560 by 1440 resolution right now, 1440p of course, very low settings, everything. Once again, I should actually use the high textures just to keep things consistent and pretty actually, because it just looks like crap on very low, as you probably could see for that split second right there. So okay, here we go. This is how I would personally play the game if I was a competitive person, but I'm not really a competitive person, at least not in PUBG, so I prefer to play at high settings at 1440p. If you really want the highest FPS you can get at this resolution, of course the textures don't really impact your FPS too much, and you can rest assured that it can still provide with a 144 FPS experience at this high resolution of 1440p. So for those of you rocking 1440p 144Hz monitors or 165Hz monitors, the experience is going to be really good, guys. I can definitely tell you that. And as we are more GPU bound right now, it won't stutter as much as 1080p, which is weird to say, I know, and weird to hear as well, but it's just how these battle royale games that aren't really that well optimized run. Anyways, friends, people are just shooting at me. I don't really know where from, so I might just be dead already, but I'm just gonna keep on moving, guys. Okay, I don't even have like a smoke grenade or anything, so we're pretty screwed maybe. By the way, VRAM utilization here on the high textures with the, oh boy, why am I going out of the circle? 1440p resolution. Maybe there's like a guy over there, I'm not sure. Probably not. Yeah, probably it was just rendering something there. But yeah, the VRAM utilization using these settings is nothing really too bad. You can definitely run it like this without any single problem. Obviously we got 8 GB of VRAM here with the 5700 XT, and the game's only utilizing just below 5 GB, so that's pretty okay, you know, it's not really a big deal. And I think the 1% lows are kind of the same as the very low settings at 1080p, aren't they, guys? I think we got like 97 or whatever it was at 1080p, and now we're getting 96, so I guess the experience is pretty similar to the 1080p one, but I don't know, guys. If you are competitive players, you might just find a workaround for the stutters, maybe lock your FPS as I told you. Just try everything, you know, before you give up, but I just I've just given up on this game actually a long time ago. To be honest, it was partially because of the stutters, guys, why I stopped playing this game altogether. I remember just being so mad at this game after like 500 or 600 hours of gameplay. They just introduced some patch that just broke everything and the game started stuttering, and I was just like, yep, I'm never gonna touch this game again. I even uninstalled it, but of course I ended up installing it again because I need to make benchmarks on it. Anyways, friends, we're getting like the same results as 1080p, so I guess I'm just gonna go ahead and do high settings right now. Okay. Oh my god, of course the timing is amazing here. Perfect, thank you so much. Okay, so right now, friends, we are at 2560 by 1440 resolution using the high settings across the board. High settings preset, of course, and let's see if it runs well here. I think it will run well because, of course, I just spent like 1 minute in the lobby screen or waiting area. Oh boy, okay, there's one guy right there. I don't think I see anybody else. I really hope that this is gonna be a smoother experience, by the way, in terms of the stutter, of course. But alright, let's start counting the FPS. The guy just dropped in those houses right there. We might be screwed here. I'm just gonna try to get a gun or something and get the heck out of here. Okay, I only got a UMP so far, friends, and the Deagle. Maybe the Deagle is good at long ranges. I have no idea, actually. Oh god, okay, where is he, by the way? Oh my god, okay, that's just the armored truck from this map. It always scares me, and we got a single stutter right there. Holy crap, that's bad. Maybe, guys, just forget everything I said. It won't run smoother at this resolution and settings. I mean, it's kind of running smoother. The stutters aren't as steep or noticeable as they were at the very low settings, and you can see that by the frame time and frame rate graph. They're absolutely smooth right now. There's no spikes or even little spikes. Well, never mind. Of course, as I said, that it had to get a couple of spikes there, but still, it feels smoother, to be honest. Although we're not running at higher FPS, it still kind of feels more stable, at least. And we got another one right there. I think it's when things pop into the screen, like some warning things and stuff like that, like this one, restricting the play area. The first time that they appear, I always tend to get a stutter there for some reason, and the game is actually installed on an SSD, so it makes no sense, to be honest. But well, guys, if you feel that you don't need 144 FPS all of the time in a game like PUBG, and I really feel like I don't need it, and we got a massive stutter there again, so everything I said just isn't true, and I really thought it was, but yep, it just keeps on stuttering, guys. God damn it, why, games? Why do you have to make my job difficult? Well, I guess that's just how it runs, so I just gotta show you that, you know, worst case scenarios and stuff like that, although it's not really worst case scenarios, it's just normal case scenarios, unfortunately. But anyways, as I was saying, if you don't need 144 FPS all of the time here in PUBG, which is kind of a slower paced game, to be honest, I really think that this game is playable with like 40 something FPS. Yeah, you can definitely rest assured that high settings at 1440p will look great, and it will run great here with a 5700 XT. And of course, we're not even talking about 40 FPS, we're talking about 100 plus on average, which is obviously kind of an amazing thing here to behold, guys. I guess that's enough right here for the high settings at 1440p. We got 103 FPS on average and 86 FPS 1% lows. Let's just set it back to very low and 2160p. 3840 by 2160. Everything here is like that, of course. And alright, so of course this is at 60 Hz right now, so it feels a lot more clunky and it doesn't really feel smooth to me because I am used to 100 and something hertz, you know, 165 hertz. Yeah, anyways, I guess maybe it's not gonna stutter as much because right now we are 99 or 100% GPU bound. Like at 4K you shouldn't have a problem with CPU bound scenarios, so it might actually run a little bit better than 1440p. I don't know. Yeah, I just definitely can't really feel those little spikes in the frame time and frame rate graphs. Okay, those are bigger ones. I could definitely feel those, and you guys probably saw them as well. Alright, there's a guy there. I am I'm obviously not gonna get him, but I can try, right? A guy can have his dreams, you know? Right, guys, so we should get out of here because we drew some attention to us, probably. By the way, you might notice that our GPU is sitting at 78 degrees Celsius. That's just because it's like 30 degrees in my room, so it's normal. In the winter, it actually gets only up to like 72 degrees Celsius with this cooler, even less than that sometimes. So, yeah, that's just because it's the summer and it's really, really hot and I don't have any air conditioning and I am just sweating bullets right now, literally. Well, not really literally, obviously, but okay. Anyways, let's keep on moving here, guys. Should we visit boot camp? I'm not sure if that's a good idea, guys, because is that guy alive? Wait a second, no, he isn't, but his position was weird there. Like, what the hell? I'm just gonna move on from here, guys. We actually get more FPS inside of the boot camp sometimes, so I'm gonna venture out into the woods once again because I feel safer there, okay, guys? It's actually completely smooth and very, very playable with the RX 5700 XT at 4K resolution if you want to play at very low settings and a really, really high resolution to maybe spot people better at the distance and stuff like that. Of course, I would prefer the high refresh rate experience, but at the same time it kind of stutters less here at 4K, so yep, just pick your poison, I guess. You're never gonna have the best of both worlds, like really high FPS and no stutters, or good graphics and no stutters, or yeah, it's just because games these days, man, okay? If I threw a smoke or something like that, it would drop from 60 FPS. We've already seen that with other cards. Smokes are really intensive in this game, but you know what? When are you gonna throw smokes and stand inside of them for like 30 seconds? I don't know, and even if you do, you can't really see people in there, so it's okay, guys. And as you can see, I am not sure how many of you expected 50 something FPS here at 4K high settings, but this is actually very incredible. It's actually the first time that I'm playing at 4K high with this GPU, and I can definitely say that this is still a smooth experience and a playable one. We might stutter even less right now because it's completely flat, the frame time graph right now, which is amazing. Of course, it's too soon to tell, but still, so far it's running well. And as I told you, I'm hearing somebody. Okay. Anyways, as I told you, I feel like this game's completely playable with 40 plus FPS. So if you really want to play at 4K and enjoy good visuals here with this GPU, you definitely can. To my surprise, actually, I wasn't expecting 50 FPS here at this resolution. This is an insane resolution, of course. It's 4 times the 1080p resolution, so it's very, very hard to run. But you know what? It's peanuts for the RX 5700 XT. Well, it's not really peanuts, but it's okay. I'm just doing my thumbnail right now, by the way, with the reload, but these yellow words keep appearing on screen. God damn it, PUBG, why do you have to say that so much? Oh my god. VRAM utilization is still pretty good, considering that we're running 4K right now. It's kind of the same as 1440p, actually, so yeah, that's good. And now, the only thing left to do is actually die or get a kill. I'm not sure which of those options is best, but I'm gonna try my best. Oh boy. Okay, yeah, dying it is. So 54 FPS average and 46 1% lows. Good stuff, very impressive again, guys, and the game looks really nice and sharp like this. So if that's you, if you want to play at 4K, you definitely can right now. Thank you so much for watching this video. Really hope that you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already, if you enjoyed the video, of course, and if it was informative for you and helpful, because I will make more videos on the 5700 XT. I actually have a playlist down below in the description that you can check out, testing various games, of course, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. As always, love you all. Bye-bye.